We are live.
Let's go. We're back, baby.
Hell
It is
yeah.
Monday. It is Monday. It's a beautiful day. We got presidential candidates working at McDonald's. We got fat chicks twerking in American suits. Like, this is the greatest day in the fitness industry. We even had a big steroid guy push over a little non-steroid guy. Like, this has been an eventful friggin' Monday. This is the Monday. Today was like 10 October surprises for me, man. What a day. What a day. A lot of surprises.
It's been crazy. I would say, man, like, it's just going to get crazy. We got like 2.5 weeks. It's going to get nuts. Oh, you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Your computer's just kind of, I think the FBI is tapping this.
I would imagine by now, especially because I already did a video or two talking down on Ozempic, so I can imagine them wanting to ixnay it.
Remember what Boeing did to whistleblowers? I wouldn't be surprised, dude. I said this on a live on my channel because it's about fitness, right? We need to protect RFK at all costs because they're going to come after him. The Pfizer, you got to understand, Pfizer not only contributes more to the government and their employees, but Pfizer also controls the media by being 75% of their advertising revenue. Pfizer is the most powerful military organization in the world. Pfizer can order a hit on someone and it'll get done. They have unlimited funding, they have unlimited resources, and they have the backing of the mainstream media and of most of the government, including the right and the left. We need to protect RFK at all costs.
I completely agree. It is a very serious thing. Like, this man is talking about policy that would take trillions of dollars away from people. Trillions a year. Like, so, and I always point out there are people that will kill you in Chicago for $20. So if you don't think that these people would do something crazy to RFK, Trump, anybody, to save themselves trillions of dollars a year, you haven't been paying attention. Like, you truly haven't, you know?
Well, yeah, you're talking about if RFK, remember, we're the only country in the world that allows Big Pharma to advertise on television. Imagine if RFK took away Big Pharma's ability to brainwash the masses and get them addicted to their drugs, and then addicted to the drugs to get them off the drugs they got them addicted in the first place. You have to realize the opioid crisis exists because Big Pharma literally advertised. They put it in their advertisements, and the doctors told their patients that they are non-addictive. Yeah, you have to realize how evil these people are. It's about money. It's about money. It's about power. And that's all it's about. And don't think it's about some mass depopulation. It's not about that, guys. CNN, Don Lemon, he doesn't care if you die or not. He's not trying to kill you, but all these people care about is paying their bills and becoming rich and gaining power so they could be with the elites. They go to the special parties, the Diddy parties. By the way, Diddy is allegedly accused of raping a 13-year-old in front of other people, in front of an actress. This is all insane. And that's why we need to protect Diddy at all costs, because Diddy knows the secrets.
Oh, me and you have a different idea of protection, Diddy.
Well, what we need to do is waterboard him till he gives us the information, and then you could do what you want.
I could have a few boys take him to the swamp, and they would come back with everything we'd ever fucking want to know.
Dude, it's insane.
But he'd be riding through a gator's digestive tract though afterwards. So,
well, and that's okay. That is nature's wood chipper.
Yeah, and that is really true. That is nature's wood chipper. I love that. I come up.
Sometimes I have good days. Sometimes I have good analogies. And, it is shocking when you wake up and you view the world as it really is, not as what they tell you it is. Like when I grew up, I thought America's duty was to unify and democratize the entire world. Because I spent 3 years of my life in a high desert town right outside of Edwards Air Force Base. So I bought into the propaganda. During Desert Shield and Desert Storm, I thought it was America's duty to send our troops to die and to go imperialize the rest of the world, because they told us in school, they gave us this vision of America that, while beautiful, left out a lot of truths. And when you start to learn the truth, you start to question, how can we make America this bastion of freedom and excellence that we've been told it's been the whole time? When in reality, in the 60s, the government literally killed a sitting president. Like, we have to understand. We have to understand that America can be great. It can be what we want it to be. It's just we need to cut through the BS and get back to the Constitution.
Absolutely. And, back to the point you were making about advertising, think about how much people wonder why the media is so in the can for Kamala and her people. They're not the ones talking about taking away the advertising for pharmaceuticals, right? So that crushes, like, CNN. If it gets passed that pharmaceutical companies cannot advertise, CNN should just shutter. They should just close their door.
Dude, they'd be left with 25% of their revenue. 25%. If you took any of my businesses and said, I'm going to shutter all but 25% of your revenue stream, I'm out of business. I'm just shutting the doors. I'm declaring bankruptcy, and I'm just done. So CNN, seeing that it is an advertising driven business, CNN, if you take away big pharma, if you take away Pfizer, Moderna, they're done. I'm not talking about downsizing. I'm not talking about right sizing. I'm talking about see you later, bitch, because they will not be able to sustain without big pharma. There is not enough. And imagine this, Alan. Imagine if he also goes after big food.
Oh, yeah.
Because big food is probably 15% of the rest.
I would imagine. No shit. Like, I agree. It's probably a good 15% of the rest.
RF to the motherfucking K. Get Trump elected. Put RFK in the fucking cabinet, baby. Let's go. Get him in charge of CIA. Get him in charge of the FDA, the USDA. Shit. Get him in charge of LGBTQIA. I don't care. Get him in charge of everything. Let's do this. Let's fucking wreck this shit. Let's bring this shit great. Let's take these 4 years. Let's not just put a pause on this woke bullshit. Let's fucking make a dent in it, and let's start pushing back.
Well, I think that's where it has to go. Me and you talk all the time. If Trump can beat the cheat, it is literally up to us, like we the people, to push him to deliver on every promise and then some. Like, I would love to see in this 4 years the Patriot Act to get fucking.
Amen. How did that ever get passed? Because you know why it got passed, Alan, right? Because they had us so worked up over brown people that they were like, hey, to get these evil brown people, we need to be able to spy on every single American. Brown, white, black, yellow, pink, doesn't matter. We need to have full just autonomy in spying on Americans. We need to be able to go after Americans to find terrorists in other countries. Explain to me how that works. Explain to me how explain to me how the Supreme Court hasn't overturned that yet.
I have no idea how they have it, because it is just on its face value unconstitutional.
Yes.
I don't care how dangerous it makes the world. If I have not done anything wrong, you should not be able to in any way infringe upon my rights. It's the same, but gun control is the same way. Well, we got to be careful because you might do something with that gun. So you're already finding me guilty of a future crime that I have not done, and therefore you're infringing upon my rights to do so. It's the last thing that should happen. I wish that, like, and me and you could even, I think it would be neat for us to do a whole show like this, like who we think should be in the cabinet. But I think it would be amazing to put RFK as the head of Health and Human Resources.
Yes.
Then all the other entities in health answer to him, right?
Yep.
From there, Callie means and Casey means FDA, CDC, right?
Yes.
Straight up. And their jobs are to make it so the transition of having a literally oppressive FDA and CDC, going from that to dissolving them. Like, that's their job, is literally to get it ready where I don't even know what the CDC does. The name is Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. What disease have they controlled or prevented? Like they have not controlled or prevented any fucking thing, like, at all, So I think that would be really cool to have them. We can do a whole show about that at some point in time. RFK was on the Greg Gutfeld show on Fox. And by the way, somebody else that we all know and love is going to be on Fox before too long. Keep your eyes peeled for that. But this is Greg Gutfeld talking to RFK. And give me 1 second. Let me go over to it. All right, here we go.
So there's this new study suggesting that this miracle weight loss drug, Ozempic, can also decrease opioid and alcohol abuse substantially, as well as reduce sleep apnea and cognitive decline, which sounds like great news. But I'm always suspect when a drug ends up getting more than one usage. It's like now it's got 7 usages. Is this going to help make America healthy again?
So let's real quick, just to add in here real quick. It doesn't actually do those things, right? So the one it says like it might help with cognitive decline and like sleep apnea is a perfect one. Like it's not going to take, you're not going to take this and all of a sudden your neck that's got 25 pounds of extra fucking fat on it is going to be able to breathe better. They're talking it might help with sleep apnea because you might lose weight.
Because you're losing weight.
Right. They're talking talking about cognitive decline. I'm going to argue that the only reason why they're saying that is because obesity has been shown to be directly linked to cognitive decline. Because I will argue that these drugs are going to cause an incredible wave of Alzheimer's, like an incredible wave of Alzheimer's. Because, and me and you were sharing this data, Mark and I. This is Mark and my friendship. We share studies and thoughts almost all fucking day.
All day, yep.
But the study that they're talking about, I read the whole fucking study, right? It is, first of all, it is an observational study. It is not like they didn't actually do a study. They just kind of did observation and they did it from electronic medical records. So they didn't even speak to anybody, right? And they're trying to argue that it helps with drug abuse and alcohol abuse. In the study, they just note that the people who are, by the way, in their 50s, right, is the average. These people that start taking these drugs tend to not binge on alcohol and drugs versus people who don't take the drugs and still binge. So this sounds to me like people that have decided to try to get healthy and people that are still in the throes of their addiction, right? But when you go beyond that, which makes it even worse, is that the group that is on Ozempic, married, kids, spouse, like lives, right? And the vast majority of the people in the group that is still dealing with their addictions, single, mostly female, in their 50s.
Really?
Yes. So it doesn't do any of those things. But one more time, I will argue that people that are going to be on they plan on people being on these drugs for 10, 20 years. I don't think you're going to make it.
Yeah,
Alzheimer's being shown to be very directly linked to metabolic disorder and insulin. So high insulin levels tend to increase the risk of Alzheimer's. These drugs make your pancreas make more insulin. The goal of the drug is to put your body into a hyperinsulinemic state, which means you have more insulin than what you fucking need, right? So
very inflammatory too, I might add.
Yes. So if you are in this state for 10 years, the chances of you not having some serious side effect from having hyperinsulinemia are super low, in my opinion. And I know, I'm not a doctor. However, check my fucking history, bitches. This is just logic to me. If hyperinsulinemia causes Alzheimer's and this drug causes your pancreas to produce more insulin, guess what that is? That's hyperinsulinemia. Yeah. And it's amazing. It's amazing to me that we haven't thought about this. You brought up the point about hyperplasia too, right?
So you can't come off of it. And here's why. So when you normally come off a diet, you have a certain number of fat cells and you gain fat. So you're gaining fat with the same number of fat cells. So hypertrophy of fat cells means your fat cells grow. Hyperplasia of fat cells means your fat cells multiply, meaning your body creates more fat cells. So the studies are still in rodent models. So take it for what it's worth, but realize before you do human studies, you have to start with in vitro. And then you move on to rodent models, okay? So in preliminary rodent data, there's a strong suggestion that when you regain the weight back or when you come off of Ozempic or any GLP-1, that you have hyperplasia or exaggerated hyperplasia of the fat cells, which means your propensity to get even fatter than when you weren't on. What happens? You have to go back on. You go back on, you get the hyperinsulinemia. Get the hyperinsulinemia, you end up getting all these other factors, these other side effects of having chronically elevated insulin. So you have a double-edged sword. One is you come off, you get even fatter because you haven't fixed the lifestyle habits that got you there. Two is stay on, you stay lean, but you also lose your muscle mass and you might lose your fucking mind.
Yeah, it's wild, man. Like, and they've got people thinking, I literally just got off a fitness live on my fitness channel talking about, like, there's a show this morning from Britain and these shows are just straight cutting ads for these things. Like, they still got two women, both still obese, talking about like how it's a miracle drug. Like, bitches, you both are still fucking fat. Like, you realize this, right? Like, the results are poor. The brag results is for trizepatide, which notice how trizepatide doesn't even get talked about. Like, the Mounjaro and Zepbound don't even get talked about as much anymore. But their brag is after 72 weeks, 20%. Okay. 72 weeks, 20%.
That's not a brag. That's not a brag.
No. If you start at 300 pounds, the average puts you at 240 pounds left. You're still morbidly obese, and you have spent 72 weeks spending $1,300 to $1,500 a month on a medication. It's likely damaging you in the long term, right? Yeah. It's so wild to me.
Also, remember the podcast we had with Dr. Sean Baker. Yeah. And that essentially this food. So it causes gastroparesis and slowing of digestion. Gastroparesis, right. Let's assume gastroparesis is the ultimate slowing of digestion. It's basically stomach paralysis, in other terms. Yeah. So your stomach ceases to work. So what happens when you slow digestion? Well, your food gets stuck in your stomach chamber. Have you guys, and then Dr. Ovadia, I Fix Hearts, he actually, his theory is, and it's right, the reason you eat less on Ozempic is you feel so sick and you're so nauseated the whole time. So your quality of life is dramatically lower than if you weren't on it. So riddle me this, okay? So you're slowing digestion. Have you ever been constipated, had to take a huge shit, and it's like 3 days, you feel toxic, you feel run down, you're lethargic, and you're like, I would give anything just to drop a deuce right now. Ozempic gets you in a steady, constant state of toxicity where your body is toxic. You have food literally rotting in your stomach. The digestive process is meant to get your food in and out of you as expediently as possible, so you could get rid of the waste product. That's what fecal matter is. When you slow down digestion, the food that should be processed and the fecal matter that should be expelled is not being expelled. And to that, I would like to answer this question, if you don't mind, Alan. No, so why do we care what other people do? Just live your life. So I ask you this, Why You Cry. If you were standing and you were watching people take a pill, you're in the middle of the street. Let's say, you're in Boston. You're in downtown Boston, sitting in that beautiful park. That beautiful park in downtown Boston. And you see everybody taking this white pill. And nobody seems to understand what it is. But in reality, that pill is arsenic. And if they take it, they might die. So knowing what we know and having these conversations allows people to make better judgments about what to do. And also, Mr. Why You Cry, you have to understand they're now recommending they give this to children and adolescents. So we want to make sure that people know, look, man, I don't care why you cry. If you go and inject yourself with Clorox bleach, I don't care. I don't care if you put a needle in your eye and inject heroin in your eyeball. I don't know you. I don't care about you. I don't care about your family. I don't care, because you seem to be a really shitty person. But for me to stand by with my knowledge of science and how the body works, and the fact that I am seeing things that are alarming, if we don't discuss these things, for example, I can't say the word, but there was a shot given out to a lot of people in 2020 and 2021 that I myself and Alan, our sub-host, because I'm gone a lot, Michael Robeson, is actually injured from this shot. So we had the opportunity to speak up and discuss this so people can make an informed decision. But because they censored us and because they shadow banned us, because they straight out banned us from some platforms, people weren't given the information to make those decisions. So you're right. Why you cry, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you live another day. I don't care. I don't care if you I don't care. I don't care if you injure yourself. I just don't care. You do what you want to do. Okay? I'm not wishing injury upon you, but you just got to understand, I do not care about you. But I do care about people who need information and want to make educated decisions on what to do. You can inject GLP-1. You get the jab at Walgreens every other Saturday. I don't care. You can snort cocaine. I don't care. But understand that if we don't use our knowledge to have these discussions, then we are doing a disservice and we would not be able to sleep at night. So yes, absolutely. I want a healthy America. Hey, RFK, why do you care? Why don't you just let it happen? Why don't you just let America get poisoned? Why don't you just let them all die? Why do you care? Why do I care? You want to know why? Because I'm not a piece of shit like you are.
Absolutely.
That's why. Because I'm not a fucking piece of shit. Your mother was a horrible mother. Your father probably wasn't there. And you are an absolute scumbag piece of shit for even saying something like that. I think you need to look yourself hard in the mirror and understand what a piece of shit you are. Call your mom. Tell her you're a piece of shit. If she's dead, I want you to drive to the fucking cemetery. I want you to go to her gravestone. I want you to explain to her gravestone why you're a piece of shit. While you're at it, I want you to look in the yellow pages, pick a random fucking number, and that might be your dad because you probably don't know who your dad is. I want you to call that motherfucker, and I want you to forgive him for going out to get a pack of smokes and never coming home. And then I want you to tell him what a piece of shit, heartless asshole you are. I'm done.
That was glorious. I loved it so much. That was fucking amazing. Bro, I love you so much. Anyway, but here's also, and I'm sure
one more. My blood pressure is 110/70. And my heart rate right now is still in the 50s. Why? Because I'm in shape, motherfucker.
That's right. That's right.
I got it right here.
But here's why, okay? Like, you wonder why we should care. First of all, it's unacceptable to just remain as chronically ill as we are because it is a societal burden that is crushing all of us. The societal burden of chronic illness, lifestyle-driven preventable chronic illness, is likely in somewhere in the range already of $3.5 trillion a year, shared amongst everybody, all of us. It raises our insurance rates, it raises our taxes, and it causes our country to be very weak, and it's even bad for the environment. Now, the drug we're talking about, RFK is about to tell you how much it's going to cost here if they get their way. So give me 1 second, because this actually, you're asking why we care? Here you go.
No, this is, I saw this headline yesterday, and I need to look at the methodology of that study because I don't believe.
I did it for you already, RFK. You can give me a call at any given time. You can give me a call at any given time. I can walk you through it. I would be happy to do all of that shit for you and make America healthy again. Mark and I said it first. Thank you.
Believe it. The EU is right now investigating Ozempic for suicidal ideation. So, but it may be that the drug, because it suppresses all the reward pathways, so it makes you want to do everything less, and that may be part of the answer for this. But the idea that a drug is going to cure drug addiction or alcoholism. We're spending $1,600 a month on this drug. There's a bill right now before Congress that will make it available to.
And by the way, I started warning people about this getting paid for by Medicare and Medicaid 3 years ago.
Wow.
Everybody who's overweight, which is 74% of the American population.
74%.
That alone will cost $3 trillion a year.
$3 trillion a year. So let's say it is able to cut the actual chronic illness burden just by people losing some weight. The outliers lose all the weight they need to lose, but they need to stay on this, right? So let's say it cuts the burden by $1.5 trillion, right? That still leaves $2 trillion of burden, and add another $3 trillion onto it. So now we have increased the lifestyle-driven chronic illness burden to $5 trillion fucking dollars a year. $5 trillion a fucking year. I'm sorry, but I give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about that. That will bankrupt the motherfucking country. I mean, we are a country that is almost $36 trillion in debt, and we're going to try to fucking spend through our taxes and through everybody paying more through their insurance another $3 trillion fucking dollars a year. Like, that's not acceptable, people. That's completely unacceptable. I don't get
absolutely.
Call me mean, call me rude, call me whatever, but unfucking fatten yourselves, fix your fucking selves. Don't expect everybody else to pay for it. Like, it's insane. That's
how a heart rate should look. Look at that HRV right there. That's motherfuckers. Awesome. So
here we go.
Are we playing more RFK, or am I supposed to go off again?
No. Well, if you want to go off, you can always go off. But
I have a lot to say. I think the problem is we suppressed people like Alan and I, and a lot of people are sick. So let's say I don't care about people and I just let people do what they want to do. If my country's about to go $4 trillion more in debt over the 35 we are, that affects everybody, motherfucker.
Yeah, it affects everybody. I mean, it's so ridiculous. How, like, I don't understand how we got here. Like, all of a sudden in the 60s, only like 3% of the population had chronic illness. And then the people that we're supposed to trust more than anything, the healthcare professionals, trust your doctor. People saying, are you a doctor? No, motherfuckers, because I'm not one of the people responsible for taking 6% or 3% chronic illness and having it be to the point where we are literally 94.2% metabolically unhealthy.
Yeah. And don't forget the opioid epidemic. That was them too. Fuck the doctors. Like, doctors are retarded. They literally told you. Oh God, he's a socialist. They literally told you that opioids were not addictive.
It's just fucking weak.
Okay, I got to ignore this guy. Socialism would just work so much better. That's why everybody goes to Canada for healthcare.
What the fuck do you think us sharing healthcare costs, because they spread the cost around through taxes and through insurance rates? Do you think that's capitalism, you dumb fuck? Socialism, you fucking idiot. That is actual socialism, where other people have to pay for everybody else's fucking issues. That's socialism. It is one of these. We are a constitutional republic, and we do have socialist programs. Every single socialist program we have is fucking this country up the ass. Every single one. If you can't see that shared healthcare expenditure through taxes and insurance, where everybody has to pay for other people's shit, that is socialism that's failing, not capitalism, you dumb fuck. That's socialism. You can even go in farther and say it's fascism or totalitarianism by the government and the media and Hollywood facilitating this bullshit. Like, you can even go even farther than that. But it is not capitalism's fault that this is a fucking issue. This is a fucking issue because people are fucking weak. They fatten themselves. They eat like they have a spare body, and then they depend upon everybody else to fix their fucking problems. That's why we're in the fucking state we're in now. Because instead of telling people to fix their fucking shit and make sure they respect society by not making themselves a disproportionate burden on it, we coddled these motherfuckers and said, it's okay to be 400 fucking pounds. It's not okay to be 400 fucking pounds. You are a burden on yourself, society, the planet, our fucking economy, everybody. It's not okay to be fat as fuck. It's just not. Now, here we go. All right.
I think my heart rate's back down to 49.
Good. So let's...
Feeling good. That's called HRV, bitches. HRV.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's listen to the rest of what he has to say here.
If we spent about 1/5 of that giving good food, 3 meals a day to every man, woman, and child in our country, we could solve the obesity and diabetes epidemic overnight.
Not quite overnight.
A tiny fraction of the cost. Oh, they're trying to
Rhetorically.
sell this. There's a huge push to sell this to the American public, and it's now the biggest company in Europe, but they're not marketing it in Europe. They make this drug in Denmark, and in Denmark, they do not recommend it for diabetes or for obesity. They recommend dietary and behavioral changes. In our country, they're counting on selling it to Americans because we're so stupid and so addicted to drugs.
Yes. And then he stole our logo.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, here's the deal. He said it. Americans are lazy, fat, and stupid. Like I had someone on my fitness live the other day, like, well, I took but Ozempic helped me. I'm like, couldn't you have just eaten less? I'm like, are you that? And I'm sorry, dude. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist, but I have more faith in human beings to fucking have some fucking willpower.
Yeah. I agree.
Just don't fucking eat the shit food. Just don't do it. Just stop doing it. Just go to therapy, do something, fucking get a fucking dog and pet your dog when you're hungry. I don't know. Don't eat the dogs. Don't eat the cats.
Don't eat the dogs. Don't eat the cats. Eating the dogs.
This isn't Ohio.
Yeah. Shit. But to another point, when we talk about you want to talk about another socialist program, the way our insurance companies are set up is socialist. Obama made it so Obama is a socialist, but he made it so that insurance companies are capped at 15% profit. Like they're not allowed to make anything more than 15% profit, right? And that's through Obamacare. But so what they do is the more they bill, the more money they make. Since they can't make more than 15%, they need more things to make 15% from, right? So if this would have been allowed to be in the free market, you know what your insurance prices would be? Very motherfucking low because they would have to compete with each other. Do you know what
Obamacare raised our business by 48% the first year.
Really? Wow.
We cover employees' insurance. It hurt us. It literally made us a non-profitable year.
Wow.
That's how bad it was. So here's how bad it is. So I have bad osteoarthritis in my thumb, and I fixed it with peptides, believe it or not. And it doesn't even hurt anymore. So anyway, I was going to a doctor, a great doctor, by the way. And he would give me cortisone shots every 3 months just so I can move my thumb. I mean, it is really bad. My thumb's really bad. So I went in and they're like, well, here's a thumb brace. I'm like, well, I'm not going to wear it. She said, well, insurance covers it. Why not just get it anyway? I said, because I'm not going to fucking wear it. I don't care if insurance covers it. Right. Why would I want this? Like they just want to move it because they get paid. They make their margin. Insurance makes their 15%. And it was something I could literally buy off Amazon and they were charging $200. Amazon, it was $17 for the same fucking brace.
That's fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy.
But I'm like, I don't want to fucking, what am I going to do with a fucking thumb brace? I'm not going to fucking wear it.
And it's that sort of shit. And it's the same thing. Like, okay, so now we have literally a socialist program that is now being fueled by the pharmaceutical companies saying, ask your doctor about this. And the doctors are just saying, yeah, if you really needed a drug, your doctor doesn't have you on it, that's malpractice.
Yes. Dude, malpractice. Like, so here, when I go to the doctor, it's like, I don't tell them what I need. Like I had that voice gone issue and I called in, I have it's free on my insurance. Well, free, whatever. But I have the virtual doctor and he's like, yeah, it's just a cold virus. Your throat got it bad and fucking take some Dayquil and shut the fuck up. I'm like, all right. So that's how it should be handled. Like, just like shit. He wasn't like, hey, I didn't go to him and say, hey, my voice is gone. I saw this TV ad for Throatagel and I need some Throatagel because my voice. No, I'm like, hey, motherfucker, I can't fucking talk and I do it for a living. What do I do? He's like, just shut the fuck up for a day and it should come back sooner or later. He's like, if you don't shut the fuck up, it'll come back. It'll just take longer. And I'm like, well, sir, I can't shut the fuck up because I'm on sales calls all day and I can't do it. My business depends on it. And he's like, well, then it's just going to fucking take longer. And I'm like, okay, I didn't go to him and be like, hey man, I was watching this TV commercial and it said that it'll get my voice back in 72 hours and might also cause erectile dysfunction, vomiting, nausea, and constipation.
Oh, hell no.
The other
hell
stuff's
no.
fine as long as I can still get a boner.
Yeah, that's
Like,
I agree with you.
could deal with nausea, diarrhea, constipation. Those are fine. As long as my penis works, I'll be okay.
Well, speaking of nausea, constipation, and diarrhea, did you see that?
Here we go.
Did you see that Lizzo was campaigning for Kamala?
Is she trying to lose the election?
I think she's trying to lose this goddamn fucking election, bro. Like, my wife keeps looking at me and be like, they don't want to win. Like, they're not trying to win.
This is absurd.
So, this is what this dumb bitch.
They say
this is what this dumb bitch said. And yes, I called her a bitch. So fucking chill. But here we go.
I'm so proud to be from this city.
Then why don't you live there?
That's a good question.
Then why don't you live there?
Well, because she'll get killed.
Yeah, because she would be dead.
You know,
Because they're going to eat her. They're going to eat her.
Right?
A lot of meat.
A lot of meat.
Kamala wins, then the whole country will be like Detroit. Okay? Proud like Detroit. Resilient like Detroit.
So I would argue that Detroit is a fucking hellscape.
I mean, the only person who stayed, and I think he's gone now, but Kid Rock lived there for a while after he became big. And I think is he in I know his business is in Nashville, his main restaurant, but because he's always fucking here. He's got to be here at least 3/4 of the time because he's always at his bar downtown. Like, that's right up the road from me. So I'm like, nobody, look, man, nobody lives in the hood after they've made it. Like, you don't see me hanging around the streets of fucking Inglewood, do you? No, I'm in fucking Brentwood, motherfucker. I'm not going back to Inglewood. Shit, look, man, am I proud of the city I come from? No, it was a shithole. I'm not proud of Inglewood. I'm not proud of any of those places. I like where I lived. I wouldn't change my history at all. But, dude, this place is much nicer. Same with Lizzo does not want to go back to Detroit. Like, even the suburbs, she doesn't even want to go back there. Like, nothing good comes from Detroit except for pizza. Detroit has the best pizza. New York, Chicago, not even close. Detroit pizza is the best.
I can't seem to find the one with Lizzo in the Uncle Sam outfit twerking.
Oh God, I will find that, and I'm really sad that I'll find it because I just gotta look because I think I tagged you in it. I'll just look for my tweet from this morning.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's how I started your morning.
That's right. That's right. That's how you started my morning.
I'm up really early on Mondays because we coach a girls basketball team at 6 a.m. So I'm up really. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yes. Okay, let me cue it up. I don't want to miss 1 second of this fucking masterpiece. Yeah. This is, you know what? This is birth control because I don't have any urge to have sex with anything right now.
No
like,
shit. No
Jesus
shit.
Christ. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. All right, you guys ready? Hopefully no one has to eat anytime soon. Here's nature's Ozempic, everybody.
Wow.
That makes me want to move to a fucking different country right now, really.
What's crazy is she's lost 100 pounds.
Yeah, she's still the size of a fucking SUV.
Mm-hmm.
What American would want what American with any values would vote for this? This is your part.
Mocking the fucking country. You fucking.
Well, I will say, I say with great pride that there was no movement down below from seeing that.
No.
Jesus H. Christ. What the fuck, dude? Like, look, man, who would want to vote for something that is like that? And by the way, young women are simply voting because of abortion. It's sad that that's the only thing these girls care about. And abortion's still there. It's just a state issue, which it should be.
And that's what I don't get, right? Like, how are these leftists sold on this? I had somebody barking back about the Project 2025 thing, right? Like, what? Because somebody said, like, I never talk shit on Trump. I'm like, well, you obviously don't watch Evening Rants, like, because we talk shit on Trump all the goddamn time, and we have for years. We were some of the first people that did so, if people would like to remember. And then
lost a lot of followers.
We lost a lot of followers. But my point was, like, I'm never going to vote for a group that's platform is to steal my rights, to silence me and take my guns, right? Guns I don't have because all lost in voting accident. But
yes, we were on the same boat.
Same boat. But
it was it was supposed to be a 3-hour tour, and in our boats just
and then
our
Gilligan
guns just fell off the boat.
Anyway. But
so Marianne or Ginger?
Oh, Marianne.
Okay, thank you.
Fuck, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah,
it's not even close, bro. It's not even close. But
just had to ask.
Yeah. Oh well, you know me. So, and I know you. I knew you were going to say Marianne too. But the crazy part about it is, like, I don't understand why people don't view it the way that we're viewing it, right? Like, Trump is not connected to this Project 2025 shit. No matter how much they fucking say it, his platform is literally on his website. They ignore it. And
you just cut out. Yeah, your voice just came out when you said "and."
I touched better. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
But so I was like, well, what do you think about, like, the people from Project 2025 endorsing Kamala? Like, it's very weird. Like, the people have this weird. I watched an interesting video earlier, bro, where how black people dislike Trump is amazing to me, because he has done more for black people and black culture than any probably other white dude besides Lincoln. And there's rumors that Lincoln wasn't white, by the way. So
what?
Yeah, there's like, he was part black. He was like something like that.
He just had a really big penis. They're like, he's got to be part black.
His body be part black.
Gotta be. He was like, he had Marfan's disease, right? Like, he had that big person syndrome.
Yeah.
So, like, he was like really tall and like had really long features.
Mm-hmm. But, like, I just don't understand why people are like that right now. Like, is Trump flawed? Fuck yes.
He's
insane. He's totally fucking crazy, right? But again, if you have me, I have to pick him with a proven track record of making a good economy when the economy is in the fucking shitter, and a proven track record of other countries sitting the fuck down, shutting the fuck up, and not causing wars when he's in office, versus people that are saying that speech is a privilege and gun mandatory buybacks are going to be a thing, and we don't have rights, basically. I'm going to always vote for the crazy dude who did a really good job on the economy and had world peace, right?
Can you explain to me how the Democrats are the party for women when they're literally letting men destroy women's sports?
It's crazy.
How does that? They don't. What is a woman anyway? Like, are you going to take away my right to get an abortion? Like, and it's funny because I'm actually pro-choice. I just don't think that we should be using abortion as birth control. And I think people should raise their kids to, to cherish life. And grandparents should say, hey, we understand everybody makes mistakes. If you have a child and you are not ready, I will care for that child. Like, I've had people ask, because I have a daughter, she's in college. Like, well, what if your daughter got pregnant? I'd be like, keep the baby, stay in school, and I will handle that shit. Mm-hmm. I am not going to kill my DNA. My DNA is too awesome to kill. You are not going to kill my child. And luckily, my kids have the same worldview I do on that. And they also understand, because we're not retarded, that it's a state issue. It's not a federal issue. So if you do get pregnant and you really want to kill your child and you're before, let's say, week 12, let's just use that, you can drive like 2 hours to the next state, because I guarantee you're bordering a state that allows it. Mm-hmm. Get an abortion. It should be difficult to get an abortion. It shouldn't be easy. You should have to think about it. You should be sitting on that 3-hour car ride thinking about how it's going to impact your life to kill a child that is in your stomach. That is crazy. Like, it should not be easy. It should be accessible. I agree.
Yeah,
but it should not be easy. It should not be easy. And it's like, well, I can't vote. As a male, I can't vote unless I join the selective service.
Right.
So women can vote, and they don't even have to do that. So men have less rights than women.
Right.
I can't vote if I'm like, fuck that. I'm not serving for this shit. I'm not going to war. What if I don't agree with the war? Can I have can you give me a questionnaire? Like, hey, we'll send you to war if you agree with this. Hey, do you agree we should go help Israel and Ukraine? I'll be like, no. Okay, you get to stay home. No. They're like, hey, we're in a pointless fucking war. Mark, strap it up. You're being drafted. You signed up for the selective service. Yet women, all they got to do is be like, I'm 18. I'm registered. I got to fucking sign a piece of paper that says that I have to die for my country for something I might not even believe we should be a part of. Tell me how
that's so true.
How do men have more rights than women? This is fucking bullshit.
It's crazy.
Women have more rights than men. Women do not have to. Women are voting on shit that doesn't impact them. Well, we just saved the Ukraine. Cool. Oh, well, we're going to have to send boots on the ground. Oh, guess who, though? Guess who's wearing the fucking boots? Bitch, you're in heels. I'm in fucking steel toes. I got to walk my fucking fat ass over to the fucking draft. I got to go down to the fucking office, get fucking drafted. They're going to shave my fucking beautiful hair. They're going to fucking ship me off to war. I don't even want to fucking go. Yet women could be like, well, good luck, boys. Good luck. And they voted for that shit. They're the ones fucking up the elections. Women, I don't think we should repeal the 19th, but I do think you need to stop saying that men have more rights than you. That is the ultimate right to vote. I have to sign up for something that says I need to die for something I potentially disagree with. Women, all you have to do is say, I'm 18, motherfucker. I can vote. That is such fucking bullshit. Women have more rights than men. Even in divorce, women get the custody of the child most of the time. Men have less rights than women. Yet women are voting for men to do shit that they don't have to do. They have no skin in the fucking game.
It's wild, man. Like the talking points for both parties are a little fucking crazy, if you ask me, because they're away. But the left is just. My wife and I talk about it all the time because, man, we're both 90s Democrats.
Yes,
just like you and. We talk about it all the time. I really haven't changed that much. Now, don't get me wrong. Since they started trying to openly take our rights, I've gotten way more involved in being a constitutionalist, way, way, way more.
Yeah.
But dude, some of the shit that these people are saying, it's wild to me that people buy into this shit. It's such low information voters. It's crazy.
Young women are retarded. Young women are retarded. Have you seen their only issue is abortion? I was just looking at something earlier today. I would pull it up, but everybody's seen it. Where the main issue for young women, it's, I want a right to my body. Well, what do you want to do with your body? Well, so you plan on going out and not wearing. It's pretty simple, guys. I know it's not 100%. I understand condoms suck. I understand. I got a vasectomy. I hate wearing condoms so much that I surgically altered my testicles so I can't get my wife pregnant. That's how much I hate condoms. But guess what? Before we wanted children, right? Because birth control pills are terrible, right? Before we wanted children, and by the way, you can't, I found out now that you can time it where they don't get pregnant by going by the ovulation and cycles and everything. Mm-hmm. I begrudgingly wore a condom. Guys, it's not the best, but if the choice is having a baby prematurely, meaning prematurely in your life, or not having a baby and enjoying sex just a little bit less, or killing a baby, wear the fucking condom, you dumb sluts.
Well, do sexually I'm happily married, monogamous, but do sexually transmitted diseases no longer exist?
It doesn't appear so. No one's wearing condoms.
What the fuck, people? It's kind of wild to me. I mean, you got Usher. He's got out here. He's got 25 lawsuits for having herpes and giving women herpes without telling them that he had herpes. But what great guy that was also endorsed Kamala Harris. a guy that has lawsuits against him for giving women herpes because he didn't disclose he had herpes before he had sex with them, and who we visibly watched traffic young Justin Bieber to Diddy for a weekend. Like Justin Bieber's like 15 years old in the care of Usher, and Usher kind of is like, here you go, Diddy, take him to your place.
Handing up little white boys left and right. I love it.
Yeah, handing up the little white boy to fucking to Diddy.
It's not. Look, man. Like, I don't want to give TMI, but like, my wife and I were together in high school, and we knew that our trajectory of life would be altered if we had a child.
Right.
We used 2 forms of birth control at all times throughout college. When we were married at 21 years old, we didn't have Cammie till 25. We practiced the safest sex possible because we didn't want to have a child. Because we would have not aborted the child, but it would have definitely thrown off our trajectory of starting our careers. But you know what? I also didn't have parents who could have raised the child. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes. We're all young and stupid. And a lot of these girls saying, oh, yay, abortion. They'll change their mind later. They'll marry a conservative guy. He'll change their mind, right? Maybe not, or else they'll be just some dumb old white liberal woman. But look, if that decision is made and that mistake, I'm not even going to call it, that event occurs, a baby is never a mistake. A baby is never a mistake. Then it is up to the grandparents to say, hey, keep the baby. And guess what? We will raise that child. That is how society takes care of itself.
Right, but that would require a nuclear family.
Oh, they don't like that either.
But this is one of the reasons why they don't. I'm telling you, this is one of the reasons why they don't.
You're right. You're fucking right. I didn't even think of that. My ADHD mind is over here thinking about fucking pine cones, and you brought up that is right. I never thought of that. Jesus Christ, you're right.
Yeah, because if there's a nuclear family and grandma and grandpa are involved and somebody needs, and the kid needs help or babysitting or anything like that, like that's one of the things too. Like childcare is fucking insanely expensive, like insanely expensive. So if you don't have family members to help you take care of a child, it is almost financially impossible for a single parent that doesn't want to take government assistance. It's almost impossible.
So Alan, I'm going to tell you something, man. So my daughter will be done with college in 2.5 years. She's going to graduate early, right?
Yeah.
So we've already told her, hey, if you want to move anywhere in the country, do it. And when your kids play football and soccer, and I'm going to fly there and I'm going to live there during the season to coach their teams as the grandfather. However, I strongly encourage you to start your career somewhere in the Nashville area so we can help you raise your child. So you can have date nights. So you can go to work and not worry about it. My wife, she works, but she works from home. And hopefully in 10 years or 5 years, even today, if my daughter got pregnant, she's like, hey, let's say it's 5 years from now, we're in the same exact financial and everything position. She goes, hey, I'm having a baby and I want to live near you so mom can help and you can be there and make my kid fucking badass. I'll be like, fuck yeah. Dude, here's the thing. I came to this conclusion. I said this to my wife. I'm like, when you first have kids, you're like, after 18 years, man, they're gone, right? No more stress. Now that I have a kid out of the house, I'm so sad. And I'm like, oh, you guys feel free to move right here. In fact, I'll keep your room. Like move in whenever you want. That's how I am. I want a big ass extended family around me. Yeah. I want to have that. I don't want to go to my grandkids' games. I want to coach their fucking teams. That's where I'm at in life right now. I don't understand how other people aren't like that because I don't want this parenting shit to end. This is fucking awesome. I want to have little grandkids. I want to have a family. I want to have my daughter have a good husband and my sons have good wives and whatever. And just fucking like be there and dude, I can go from having 3 kids to having like 9. Yeah. And imagine, dude, that is literally almost an entire football team.
Right.
We will dominate.
And if you have them right, like the 3 kids, if they can all have kids right around the same time, if they're like Cammie and Thomas wait a little bit, And then you got Preston coming up. You know, Preston gets started a little early because he excels at stuff. He's an NFL kicker and he's got the money. Then all you got, I got it planned out for you in my head.
Well, I mean, look, man, I just don't understand how Americans don't want this. Like the nuclear family, I understand, like you see these Instagram influencers with their cars and this and that. Dude, I just want to have a badass family. I just want to spend time with my family. I want to continue it. I want to be a dad for as long as I can. I want to parlay that into being the cool grandfather. You know, and that's one of my motivations for being healthy and staying in shape is I want to be able to do what I'm doing right fucking now in 15 years when I have a kid who's playing ball. Or fuck it, let's say they don't play sports. Let's go fucking learn the piano. I don't fucking know, whatever those artsy people do. None of my kids do that shit, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, dude, I have a couple videos. Like one of the biggest premises I have for losing the weight and keeping it off and just staying healthy, 9 pounds when I'm 90. Like I want to be able to hold a 9-pound baby when I'm 90 years old, a grandbaby, great grandbaby, whatever it may be. When I am grand niece, great niece, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to hold the family's baby without people being worried I'm going to drop that motherfucker. You know, like, I mean, 9 pounds when I'm 90. That's what I work out for, to lift 9 pounds when I'm 90 and then go dance with the wife when I'm 92.
Yeah, dude. And my goal is to I want to be able to single leg Romanian deadlift 100 pounds each leg for as long as possible. Because if you could do that, your chances of falling and dying are very low.
Very low.
Unless you drop the weight on your foot, then you're fucked.
Yeah, then you're fucked.
Well, I mean, I told you that we were training in Orange County. I'm like, this is the movement that I'm going to do till I'm 90.
Yeah, dude.
If I can do this movement.
Yeah. And that's the truth though, because like posterior chain is longevity. Like posterior chain strength and core strength is longevity, straight up. That's one of the reasons why people that do a lot of yoga, that's one of the reasons why they can do yoga into their like 80s and 90s, because they keep their core strength really, really strong. And there's a lot of bending over movements. And when you bend over, you have to stand up. So even though there's not weight put on it, it does have like repetition and volume, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually going to restart real quick because my screen share audio went away. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Not a problem. Not a problem. So for those of you that don't know, we will be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a guest. Mark is coaching his children or his son in football. And there he is. But we will be back tomorrow night. It'll probably be me and Mike Robinson, and Mark is back. So we're good.
Yeah, I got football. It's it's playoff week, by the way.
Hell yeah.
We got
ass, motherfucker.
Yeah, we'll win this week. The next week is going to be tough, man. That's a crazy team we're playing. We beat them by 1. That was the one where in the fourth quarter, we're down 12-0, ended up scoring 13 points in the fourth quarter to win 13-12. It was a great game. Awesome. That team will be tough, but before we go, I want to show you one thing. We're talking about women's rights, right? Mm-hmm. And I wanted to bring this up because this was posted by my good friend Elijah, who I'm probably going to be out there on his show on November 11th. So he put sad state of affairs when the college women have more bravery than so-called men who support men trying to get women into women's sports. Grow a pair, dude. So we talked about this before. The Democrat Party is overwhelmingly in favor of taking away women's sports. So this is a Nevada women's volleyball player. Very woman. You could tell she's a female. Look at her jawline. Beautiful young lady. Very brave young lady. Because I'm going to play this video right now. And this will tell you why I hate Democrats so much.
We just wanted to demand that the rights that we have on the court be upheld. Women's sports are for women, and biological males have no place in women's sports.
You know, when you wake up every day and you're receiving those messages, eventually it's going to take a toll. And at some point, the people that are sending those messages, I think they need to wake up and look at themselves in the mirror and really question who they are.
Okay. So
is he defending the dude?
So San Jose State is the team with the dude. This guy is an absolute scumbag piece of shit, and I wish for the worst to happen to him and his family. This man deserves the worst. This is a fucking demon. He is a piece of shit, and he deserves the worst. I'm not going to say what the worst is, but whatever you feel the worst is, that's what I wish on this guy. I wish this guy nothing but pain and suffering for the rest of his life.
So here's my question. Like, why should they take a look at themselves and like, why the whole guilt trip bullshit is to me beyond the pale. Like, but I will tell you why they did that, dude. That is what they did. That's what they've done for the last 5 or 6 years. Oh, you believe this way?
Human
You believe this
beings
way? Oh,
and
you're
what their
poor
end
thinking.
game.
You know
What this guy is winning games because he put a dude on his team, and now he's trying to guilt trip people like this beautiful
Fuck this
young lady.
motherfucker.
This beautiful young lady. She's just trying to play her game and live her dream. And this fucking beta, fucking skinny little non-muscle having, stupid fucking haircut having motherfucker wants to take away her fucking dreams, her opportunities. He wants to risk her getting injured, a ball spiked in her face broken, her jaw broken, her nose broken, because he wants to win games with a fucking dude on his team over this fucking bullshit of taking fucking women's sports and giving them to fucking men. This guy deserves the worst. I pray to God that this guy gets struck with the worst of the worst of the worst of the possible outcomes that his life can have. And you can use your imagination into what I think should happen to him.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. At some point in time, like it started. It's starting.
Which one? Which one of us?
Dude.
How about both?
She's definitely talking about you, bro.
Nah, man. I think she wants us both.
Ew. Ew.
I wouldn't want. I couldn't do that. Like I couldn't have a naked dude in my presence when I'm naked, unless we're like showering in a gym.
Yeah, I mean it's just ew.
I couldn't. Well, what if the tips touch? Like, what if there's some sword fighting?
What if there's like a smacking? Like people are turning around and like.
Oh no, she's 19. Please stop. My daughter's like that.
That's what I'm saying. Not only that, but that's just like. Yeah, my child's older than you. You shouldn't be saying that to me.
Bro, you're almost triple her age.
Yeah, dude. Like you shouldn't be saying that in any way to anybody. I hope she's talking about you.
All right, there we go. I'll do it for human rights.
Still, like no shit. You're 19 years old. Like I'm a 53-year-old man. That's grotesque.
At the end of the day,
I am not Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay,
like, so,
wait, hold on. So I want to just clarify this. So our good friend Aaron is very gay. He's the gayest individual we've ever met. And Aaron is outward about his opinion of me. And it doesn't bother me. It's actually very flattering. Here's the reason why. I'm married. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, the possibility is zero. So look, man, if a guy says to me, I find you attractive and I would like to do naughty things to you, I'll be like, well, I'll say the same thing to him as I would to a woman. I would say, thank you very much. I'm very flattered. However, I am with a woman. So outside of my wife, I am asexual.
Exactly. But I will say that, like, one more time, if you find people that are your father's age attractive, that's gross. I'm just saying.
I don't think so. I think it's actually. I think this is a good topic. Real quick, hold on. We got like 5 minutes. Hold on. So biologically, I think that kind of makes sense, right? Because men can procreate and have babies till they die. Women can't. Women, their risk of like birth defects go up after like 35. So it just makes sense that a young, attractive, virile woman will want to be with an established, successful, virile male. So it does make sense more man to woman and my wife gets mad when I have this conversation with myself because she's not listening and I have to talk all the time. And I think that biologically it makes sense.
I don't know. Like, because here's the thing. Like, I also believe that men should be around for like the children and shit like that. And a 50-some-year-old dude that has a child with a 20-year-old, you're not going to see like that. Like, it's like, I don't know. I just can't get there, man. Like, we're gonna have to.
Okay. Let me put it in perspective of modern day.
Okay.
Do you really think a 24-year-old man, an average 24-year-old male, obese, soft, and broke, now could take care of an attractive and virile and ambitious young woman? Do you realize how hard it is for young women to find men who don't suck?
Valid.
So if you're, let's say this Negus, whatever. Let's say this woman is, let's say it's a woman and she's 24 and she's very attractive. She wants to settle down, have a family. And Zach Morris across the street, hopefully people get that reference.
Zach Morris.
He's like out there. He hasn't really got his job in order. He's still kind of mooching off his parents. He's not in shape. He's soft. He's weak. He's kind of like a Krasenstein brother. Yeah. And again, like the dating pool for young women is very shallow. Like it's basically you're stuck with the jocks, because if a kid doesn't play sports, and I say this from experience being around a lot of kids, if a kid doesn't play sports, he's most likely soft, weak, and just not going to be able to provide.
Right.
So I'm just saying, if I was a 20-something-year-old girl, it would be very hard for me to find a 20-something-year-old man to fulfill my needs.
Valid, but if your 20-year-old daughter shows up at your house with a 53-year-old dude, you know you're going to be calling me to dispose of something.
No, you know I'm going to be beating his ass.
And I'll be disposing of it.
I'm just.
Let's be real.
I'll beat his old ass up and down the street.
Yes, I mean,
I will beat him up and down the street. But
pick him up by the ankles and whip him against a tree. Like that's that type of thing, you know? Like, no shit.
But yeah, I mean, look. I'm just saying, I from just looking out in the landscape, it is very hard for young women who have their shit together to find a man their age who isn't a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I would say 75% of high school aged men, seniors, are conservative. So things are changing, bro.
What's going to happen here in about 5 or 6 years when the kids that are like in the 18 to 25 bracket, when they're like in the job market and, you know, in the middle management, they're going to just fucking take over. Like they're going to skyrocket because the competition they have is fucking pitiful. Like, I mean, the generation before them is a bunch of weak, soft, fat-bodied, man-tittied fucking losers, you know? And I mean, not all of you motherfuckers. Some of you motherfuckers are fine. Don't worry about it. But you got, and if you took offense to that because like, oh, he's talking about my generation and saying I'm fat-tittied and blah, 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 you probably are. If you're upset by that, you probably are. You know? If
they're watching this, chances are they're the good ones.
Yeah, true. But the people that wander across this, I'm hoping that they fucking like, anyway. But I think that like the next couple of years we'll have a lot of like these kids can write the fucking ticket, especially if Trump can beat the cheat, and I think he can do that if he keeps working at McDonald's.
Yeah, dude, it was such a good idea.
It's such a good idea.
Such a good idea, man. I mean, look, man, it was great optics. He did his thing, and I'm happy he did it. And I think that so far the turnout has been largely Republican in the swing states.
Yeah.
And Florida is like plus 50% Republican. It's crazy. Yeah. And I already voted. I voted last Monday. I got my vote. I was there when it opened, like right at noon, a couple hours after it opened. I waited in line. There was a long line. Williamson County, that probably means they're voting the way I want them to vote. And things are going to be very good. I think it's going to be good. And look, man, worst case scenario, we just hunker down. Look, I'm not one of those like, oh, the world's going to end if Kamala wins. I'm not that guy. I just really hope. It's just what's going to happen is more of the same societal decay. But again, Trump for the wars and RFK for the health. That's what I'm here for.
Absolutely. Me too.
But your life's not going to change. When Kamala gets elected, your day-to-day is not going to change. Like, it's just not. You're going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. But if Trump gets elected, you might see societal change like you've never seen before in a positive way.
I'm a little bit more pessimistic. I believe that if Trump does not beat the cheat this time, this might be our last election.
Could be a civil war.
I see them positioning themselves to like really crack down on free speech and gun rights and stuff like that. So that's the worry for me, because then like they get to decide the entire narrative on everything, and that's a huge fucking problem. A huge problem.
Well,
but
where I'm more
optimistic
is the states. If you're in a red state, you're somewhat shielded from a lot.
Well, there's going to be one way or the other on November 6th. There's going to be a problem. Trust.
Oh, there's going to be civil unrest no matter what.
Yeah, trust. No matter what. Like no matter what. They like the last time Trump got elected, people forget this, but they started lighting shit on fire the last time Trump got elected. You know what I mean? Like people forget that.
Mostly peaceful.
Yeah, somewhat fiery, but mostly peaceful protest. That, by the way, was an actual CNN headline during the fucking
and MSNBC. They both did the same thing because they share headlines.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely insane. So, brother,
I should make it Wednesday. We have no film this week because my camera for some reason glitched at halftime. So regardless, we won 34-0. There's no film to watch. We steamrolled those motherfuckers. So yeah, we're it's gonna be a good week. Obviously Alan's here, and a lot of times we'll have Michael on, and I'll be here most likely Wednesday, and we'll probably be able to do a special Friday episode. And and that'll be great. But anyway, man, thanks everybody for joining us.
Thank you again, man. And again, for the people that don't know this, by the way, I thanked him on his channel. This past 17th of this month, I made it to 3 years, 9 months without binge eating. For those of you that don't know, I'm a very serious binge eater. My wife is a fitness genius. I just wanted to add this at the end. I hope you don't mind. But my wife is a fitness genius, and she figured out the methodology that we use for our coaching to help me avoid binging. But I was still having just massive cravings because I was incredibly hungry all the time. And I was having trouble with sugar cravings, and just regular binge cravings and food noise and everything like that. And we reached out to Mark at my wife's behest, and Mark formulated 2 amazing supplements, No Morbidity and Alchemy. And I just wanted to thank you personally, but also say that if it wasn't for these supplements, there's no way I would have made it this long without binging. It has literally saved my life. So for those of you that are thinking about trying it, Ambrosia Collective, tigerfitness.com, use the code Evening Rants. You can also get them at any Sprouts throughout the nation. Vitamin Shop carries them. You can get them on Amazon. But the combination of these 2 together, and include Ember in it, which is kind of a high stimulant appetite suppressant that has African mango in it also. The 3 of them together make it so I have absolutely no physical hunger whatsoever. And if it would not have been for that formulation, I still think I would have decently severe problem with binge eating. And I wanted to thank you again, dude, because I always am kind of amazed at how not only the method my wife helped figure out, but by her telling me to reach out to you about this supplement, how different my life has turned out because of it, just on a health standpoint. So I just wanted to thank you and tell everybody, go to those places and get the Holy Trinity weight loss, especially around this holiday season. It will help you. Well, thank you. We've helped tons of people lose a ton of weight. So yes, we have. All right. Well, about here. We'll end you with an ad on this stuff too. This is Mike Rashid. That's what we do. Everybody have a great day. Ladies, come here. If you want to burn body fat, not just a little bit, but a lot, I got the perfect stack for you. It's 3 products. Ember, which is a powerful thermogenic that you take in the morning, suppresses your appetite to a degree, and it raises your metabolic rate and have you burning calories all day long. Alchemy, what Alchemy is going to do is it allows you to eat those carbs in your meal guilt-free. It's going to take those carbs and burn it off as fuel, so you have plenty of energy throughout the day. Before you go to bed, you're going to take No Morbidity. It's the best part of the stack, because while you sleep, a deep, restful sleep, it's going to be burning calories, burning fat all night long. So you're going to wake up not feeling groggy, feeling refreshed, ready to go about your day. So we got you covered all day long. This is called the Holy Trinity Stack. And ladies, it's for y'all, for the queens.